Hello everyone, my name is Katie. I am the Introverted Reader, and I know I look a lot different than what I usually look like in some of my videos, but I'm going out tonight and I didn't want to sit and put the face on that I want to put on because I want to go all out because it's my birthday tomorrow, and as well I just couldn't be bothered really, to be honest. But I did shower today. As you can see, my hair is done, but I just, you guys have seen me without makeup before. It's not a big deal. So today is my February wrap up because obviously there are still 2 days left of February. Like I said, it's my birthday tomorrow, and then obviously Monday's the last day. But I don't plan on finishing any more books in the next 2 days. I am still currently reading Enchanted by Gita Trelease. I'll talk more about that in a wee second, but I'm still currently reading that, and I don't really plan on finishing it anytime soon. So let's talk about some books. Let's hydrate. If you haven't hydrated, please hydrate now, whether it's water, a cup of tea, some juice, doesn't matter what it is, just take a drink of something, stay hydrated. So like I said, I'm still currently reading Enchanted by Gita Trelease. This was on my TBR for the Royal Readathon. I am 144 pages into it. I'm listening to the audiobook for it. It's basically about these 3 siblings, 2 girls and a boy. Their parents sadly have passed away suddenly from smallpox because it's 17th century France, 1789 to be exact. It literally says 1789 right there. I didn't even notice that till yesterday. I had a wee giggle about it, but anyway, the brothers are drunk, and the other sister, Camille, she's 17 years old. It has fallen to her to provide for her family, because her brothers are drunk, so he's away drinking and gambling and throwing himself down a gutter. So Camille looks after their younger sister, Sophie, and her health isn't great. Like she needs medicine, like her breathing and that's not great. Her health hasn't been great. So yeah, she's struggling to get by with that. So like I said, I'm only 144 pages in, and I do hope to get it finished soon because it is an easy book to read, and like I said, the chapters are short in the audiobook. So I'm going to continue on reading this in March. But let's talk about all of these. Listen, to be honest, let me just say right off the bat, a lot of books that I read in February were not great. I DNF'd 2 books in February. 2 books. But first of all, I'll talk about the books that were not on my TBR for the Royal Readathon, which I took part in, but I was a casual participant really. But the first book that I read and completed was Ace of Spades by Farida Abiche Amide. And I love this. This was our book club pick for the month of February. I nearly said March there. It's not March yet. But yeah, I have a full review of this on my channel if you want to go and watch it. I will leave it linked down below if you want to go and see it, see my full thoughts. I really, really love this book. I gave it 4.5 stars. I will definitely be reading anything that this author puts out in the future. Love this. Go watch my review if you want to know more. But yeah, I love this book. The next wee book that I read was Avatar Legacy. This is just a little fun kind of scrapbook thing. It's sort of like if Avatar Aang laid out everything that him and his friends got up to, in ending the 100-Year War, and put it into this. So it's not really required reading, but it's a really cute book to have. There's like little posters you can pull out. There's a postcard from Ba Sing Se. There's like little timelines here. There's like little Fire Nation timeline there with like a little postcard from the Fire Nation. So yeah, it's just a fun little collectible book type thing that I just randomly decided to read because I thought it'd be fun. But yeah, I love anything to do with Avatar. I'm trash for Avatar, okay? Anything I can get my hands on that's Avatar related, I'm gonna read. I forgot to bring my Kindle over, but my Kindle's over there. I read 2 books on my Kindle, and they were these 2 books, part of a gay smutty romance series. Don't unsubscribe just yet. But listen, I was just bored. none of the books around me were keeping my attention. So I was just like, you know what? I'm bored. So I read the first 2 books in a series. It's a series called the Bromance Chronicles. It's by Billy Bloom, and they follow me on Instagram. And I was just like, you know what? Indie authors barely get enough recognition as it is, let alone queer ones. So let me just try their books, see how I like them. And the first one is really, really short. It's like 75 pages. It's literally just about these 2 guys, these 2 hockey players. And it's literally just 75 pages of them being like all hot and heavy for each other, which I wasn't mad at all. I gave it 3 stars because it made me laugh. But plot-wise, I would probably give it 2. And then I read the second one, which was called Nice Guys Finish First, and it was longer. It's like 170-ish pages. That one had a lot more of like a proper story to it, because the 2 guys, one was a hockey player and the other one was kind of like a social media influencer type thing. He made like cute little videos of him skateboarding and doing tricks and stuff. And the social media guy is out and proud as bisexual, but the other one is sort of coming to terms with his own sexuality. He hasn't really like properly come out yet. He knows that he's gay, but he hasn't like, let people in on his truth yet. And it was actually really sweet. This one, there was a lot of there was the smut, which was pretty hot, I won't lie. But there was also a lot of like really cute moments between them. And like I said, I just wanted something fun and stupid to keep me entertained for an hour or 2, which it did. So I gave that one 4. And I am going to be continuing on with the series. I don't know when, but soon. Because I have other books to prioritize. But anyway, I read those. They were a fun time. And the next book that I read, which I'm so happy that I finally finished, Malice by Heather Walter. This book saved February for me, let me tell you. Like, this was geared as a sapphic retelling of Sleeping Beauty, where instead of the prince breaking the curse, it was the like Maleficent character, it's the villain. And this was so good. And with it being a chunky book, like, it has nice big font. Like, look at that. Like, I was so happy when I opened that and saw how big the font was, because I'm so sick and tired of seeing hardbacks, especially like this, or even paperbacks like this with like teeny tiny little font that you literally have to squint to look at. Like, give me font that I can read. I'm old now. Come on now. So yes, I love this. This was so good. I'm so excited for the sequel. Basically about our girl Malice. Well, her name's Alice, but they all call her Malice as like a slur almost to like degrade her. And she is meant to be part of this organization called Graces. Because like, there's all these different types of Graces. These girls that are blessed with these certain abilities, their blood is gold, and they basically use their blood to make elixirs. Hers is green. And whereas the regular Graces is like good magic, I guess. They give beauty and healing and wisdom and whatever. Hers is more like little hexes and little curses. Like if a noble wanted to get back at someone, they would go to her if they wanted her to play like a trick on them, or like turn their teacup into a frog or something. You know what I mean? Like petty stuff like that. But yeah, I love this. This was amazing. I love the romance in here. I loved it so much. It's just, saved February, this book. Saved February. And yeah, I'm super excited for the sequel. I love this book. I love this book. If you want me to do a review on it, let me know, because I have things to say, but I love this. And if you haven't read it yet, go and read it. So, now on to the books that I read for the Royal Readathon, which would be these right here. Well, we'll start off with the 2 that we DNF'd, shall we? Well, like I said, I'm still reading this. This was on my TBR for the readathon. This was to read a book with royalty in it, because obviously this is centered around Louis the 16th, not the 14th. I can't read Roman numerals. I thought it was 14th, but it's Louis the 16th's court and, Marie Antoinette and stuff like that. So that was for that. I'm still currently reading that. Star Daughter by Shveta Thakrar. I DNF this one. This was a book, the prompt for this one was to read a book about family, or like a familial relationship. Because because it's basically about this girl who is half human, half star, and she accidentally injures her dad with like her starfire, her star magic, and then she basically has to go up to the celestial realm to where her mom went and that she hasn't seen in a long time, to ask the stars and her mom to basically heal her dad. And they say, well, we'll help you heal her dad. We will help you, because it takes the blood of a full-fledged star to save him. But they're all like, we want you to take part in this competition first, because they do this thing where each of the celestial houses takes part in this competition. They like put forth the champion, and the champion proves their worth or whatever. This was boring. This was so boring. I tried reading it physically first. And at first I was a bit intrigued. It was a little bit slow at the beginning, but then I was like, give her a chance. And then I found myself zoning out of the story a lot. And then I was like, okay, let me get the audiobook. So I did. I listened to the audiobook. I got 260 pages into this book, and it's just over 400, right? The competition hadn't even started. It was literally just our main character moping about and being a petty little teenager, being like, oh, woe is me. What am I going to do? Like, my dad needs me and they won't help me. When. And I was like, first of all, they said they would help you. Like, you need to get your shit together and do this for your dad instead of moping about and crying. Like, woman up. And like, she was just pissing me off. And yeah, I tried, okay? I tried twice. And I feel really bad because this book, like, this cover is really, really pretty. This is a really pretty book. But you're going in the unhaul basket, my friend. Because you're boring. 2 stars. The next book that I DNF'd, none of you are going to be surprised. Aroshan, The Tree of Wishes. This series is not for me. I don't know what it is. I should have seen this coming when I said that I didn't like book 2. Because I did not like book 2. Because it was like a carbon copy of The Lightning Thief. And I'm shocked that Rick didn't sue Miss Chokshi. But Tree of Wishes, I just couldn't do it, guys. I got 150 pages into it. Like, you would think that a middle grade series like this would be something that I love. But I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Whether it's me, whether it's the book. It's just, I wasn't enjoying it. I didn't like it. So this series is not for me. I might try and give the books to my sister. My sister might enjoy this. I'll let you know. But it's not for me. The next book that I read and completed, Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, Volume 1. So this is the novel that inspired The Untamed, my favorite TV show of all time. It's about, it's centering around these 2 characters, but it's mainly about this guy, Wei Wuxian. And at the very beginning of the book, he dies. That's not a spoiler. It literally, like, the first line of the book is, rejoice, Wei Wuxian is dead. Like, ding dong, the witch is dead. So anyway, it starts off with him dying, but then he gets reincarnated, because the person that reincarnated him wants him to take revenge on their enemies. And at first he doesn't really fully understand, like, why? Like, what happened? Like, where have I been? And it's been 16 years. And, he sort of tries to, and, he's, trying to, like, figure out what's happening, what the world's like since he's been dead. And then we get flashbacks of him 16 years prior to before the person he became, when he was like young and carefree and had a home and a family, and you hear about all the things that happened in his life that led him up to where he got to, that led him to become the Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. And whenever you read it, you see who he was before and everything that he went through, and then you're like, oh, I get it. It's kind of that. And there were a few things. There's been some controversy around this, some mistranslations, some things missing. I do think that it had to do with they were trying to get this out really quickly, because when this was announced that we were going to be getting a properly translated English version of this story, everybody was so excited and so many people were wanting it and getting the pre-orders in and everything. So I think everybody down at Seven Seas Publishing was just in a rush to get this out, and they did make a careless mistake. You know, there are some things in there missing, but it's like little things, you know? There is a line that is missing that everybody's pretty upset about, and once I found out, I wasn't like really upset, but I was just like, oh, I understand. But they're going to take their time with the second one. Let's hope they take their time with volume 2. Let's not have any more careless mistakes. Let's not rush ourselves. Take your time. I have my second volume pre-ordered anyway, so I shall have a copy on its way to me very soon. But I love this. I love this world. I love these characters. This covered 3 prompts for the Royal Readathon. So I was very happy to get it read and get those prompts all ticked off. But yeah, I love this. 4 stars. It is pretty dense writing, I will say. There's quite a bit of information, but once you get past all that, like it's not useless information. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay, so that's why this and that's why that. Okay, so it makes sense. But like, I loved it. Oh, I loved it. And the last book that I physically read was Sweet and Bitter Magic by Adrian Tooley. Can you tell that I'm upset? Sapphic witchy romance. I was so excited about this, but all in all, fam, I think I gave it 3 stars on Goodreads, but upon reflection, I think it might be 2, because it's supposed to be about these 2 girls. One is a witch cast from her coven because she supposedly practiced forbidden magic, and our other girl is what's known as a source. She basically helps to feed a witch's magic to make her more powerful. And yeah, and then this strange plague comes over the land. It's not a physical plague. It's like it affects the mind. Like people forget who they are, who their relatives are, and like they just sort of, it's like a slow descent into madness sort of thing. That sounded all wonderful. And then in the end, you know, they had to team up because the witch, this girl, who was cast from her coven, she was cursed with she was cursed to not be able to love. And this girl, the redhead, Ren and what's their names? Ren and Tamsin. So Ren, the redhead here, her father succumbs to the illness and she goes to Tamsin for help. And Tamsin says, okay, I'll help you, but you have to give me the love for your father if you want me to save him. So it all sounded well and good, but sadly it fell flat because like I was intrigued by the world, I was intrigued by the magic system, I was intrigued by everything, and I was so excited about this, like a sapphic witchy romance. It let me down. It let me down. Like the romance was rushed. Like there was no build up, there was no tension, there weren't any cute little moments of like, oh, she accidentally touched my hand, oh, that's interesting, oh, she looked at me for like a minute too long. There wasn't anything like that. And in the end, I really felt like the author just rushed it. Like it could have been fleshed out more. Like, and the so-called antagonist, the so-called villain, am I a joke to you? Like, no. You know how I feel about villains. I did an entire video on my channel about what makes a villain. Villains are important to me, okay? I need to believe them and what they're doing. I did not believe a single damn thing that anybody was doing in here. And like, such a beautiful cover, such a good premise. But the execution, no, like I'm very upset. I'm very upset. You know how excited I was about this, but like, it could have been longer. I wouldn't have minded an extra 100 pages or so of them just being cute. Like, and I was intrigued by like the witches, like the other witches in the coven, but like all of them just felt so flat. Like I felt like I didn't know them at all. And the so-called plot twist I saw coming from a mile off. Like I'm upset. So, I mean, so in the end, folks, that's going to be 3 books that are going to go in the on-haul basket. 2 that I DNF'd and 1 that I wish I could erase from my memory. So, but these ones, these ones here we enjoyed, and obviously the gay smutty romances, you know, we enjoyed them too. And I'm still currently reading this one. So, like, it wasn't too much of a loss in February. But to be honest, I was just like, it's my birthday month. And why are half the books I'm reading this month so mediocre? It's homophobic. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I hope yous are all doing well. I hope you hydrated. I hope you're not too put off by my appearance. Although, quite frankly, I don't really care. But anyway, Twitter and Instagram down below as always. My Ace of Spades review will be down below as well, along with my Amazon wishlist. Subscribe if you're not already. Ring the bell. Have a good day. Stay hydrated, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Bye!